Okay, welcome to another video. There's been a lot of time since we last saw each other, and I would like to apologize because of that. I would like to honestly to grab this continuous creation of videos, and you might ask yourself like, "Hey, why do you change your language? Why do you switch to English instead of Spanish?" And one is because I joined a big tech company, and I will eventually like to reach out more people, not only from Mexico and Latin America, but also from the US. And second of all, uh, I don't know, maybe this thing uh, will help me improve my English. Probably, not sure. Probably the videos that I will be continuing doing in this channel will be like videos in regards AI knowledge, how we apply AI in big tech, how new findings out there, readings, articles, tutorials about new tools and AI tools and new ideas that comes in, all this kind of stuff. And also, I will continue doing these videos of solving CS problems and lead code problems and code forces problems, because in this way, I believe that I stay sharp. And two, for you guys, you can understand my thinking behind the problem solving and how I think of the data structures that eventually solve the problem, etc. Okay, so for this video, we are exploring herdr, and let me look for my desktop view right here. What the hell is herdr? Herdr is basically a new tool. I believe this is probably like a tmux. It's a multiplexer for a terminal that allows us to have, parallel coding agents. And let me find the right definition for this. So yeah, basically herdr is an open source terminal multiplexer designed specifically for running and managing fleets of AI coding agents. So yeah, that's basically, we call it as tmux for coding agents. You can start like downloading it. This is their official website, and you can install it from this command, or I believe they had a website in the docs where you can install it from the Mac. Yeah, here you can start using Homebrew. So why don't we start it? We can go here and then say like, I remember I already did this, and I did it this way. So then let's review what's inside herdr. So herdr allows us to have the name spaces, where we run several agents. As you can see right here, we have the web dashboard agent that it has like a kind of state. You can also see the other status or state from other agents within herdr. So the benefits of herdr is that it can be an always running server. We can enable that with herdr server, and let's do this right now. Herdr's server, herdr server running. You can use blah blah. API sockets. You need to open a herdr GUI, run herdr. You don't need herdr server. I believe I do. So let's start another terminal and let's open herdr. So herdr, terminal workspace manager for coding agents. This is a mouse first terminal. I mean, there's a way where we can like modify this setting. So we use the same as tmux. And so let's continue here. Integrations. Also, an interesting thing is that herdr accepts all my pi. Basically, all my pi is like a harness for AI, and it allows us to be LLM agnostic. What does this mean? Basically, this means that based on the tasks and based on certain criteria of the task, some models like ChatGPT or Claude are better and some are worse, and even some are better and they are cheaper. So basically, OmniPy allows us to dynamically like change depending on the task, what LLM should we use instead. That's good. So this video is not for how my Pi. This video is to test herdr at the beginning. So basically, it is an always running, terminal UI. So yeah, this means that every agent will be marked as blocked, working, or idle. So we are aware of which agent already finished, which agent has work to do, and so on. So it has a CLI integrated. So that means that that's useful for us if we like want to programmatically do something with the CLI. It allows us to work with LLMs, or LLMs that we already know from Claude, cursor, grok, codex, hermes. And yeah, there's an article actually. The agent harness, why 70% of your AI agent performance lives outside the model. So basically, this is why tools like herdr or other harness AI tools are really, really important, because us as developers, sometimes we only use the LLMs, and the LLMs reduces as a simple API call to the providers. But what harness tools like Cloud Code or Header or other harnesses like Hermes, they allow, or they like kind of put this harness in the AI as their name mentions, and so that improves the way, and that improves the metrics on the overall result of the of this improves the overall result of the work done by AI. So that's important. So I will leave the link in the description so you can guys like read this article. It's really, really like cool. It defines like the components that composes a harness itself. And this means like the heartbeat, which is like the main orchestration for the agents, and then that harness must have tools, a file system, code execution, and a sandbox. Also memory and stuff like that. It's really, really interesting. I will leave the link down below. And yeah, so let's continue with herdr. So let's open this, and we have integration, paint labels, and this means show detection. Yeah, I will put this on, and I would like to receive notifications via system, sound alerts. That's okay. And I really don't care about the theme. However, I always use Dropbox, so I will leave it as this. So this means that if I run Claude, you can see like there is an agent called Claude here. Yeah, I don't know if you heard that, but there was like a bell, like a sound of a bell. Okay, then I need to log in here. I have a Claude account with subscription. Yeah, do I? I do. You are all set up for Cloud Code. You can close this window now. Okay, perfect. So in here, this means that I have a space and I can open a new tab. Let's open new tab here. And then this means that if I open a new Cloud Code session, it will like go to the agents, agents section right here. So if we type Claude, yeah, there we go. We have another Claude agent right here. And then we can put these two agents to work in something cool in here. For example, let's grab inspo from this motion sites.ai. This website, we have several examples or several prompts to build like really, really cool things in regards to landing page. Okay, let's build this monster guide landing page. So I'll paste it right here, but probably I don't want to be working in this folder. I would like to rather go to downloads, and then here probably I would do something like I don't know, motion further example, then cd there, and do the same for this agent, cd motion further example. Go first of all to my downloads folder. We are already here, so let's do plot. Great. So from here we can paste the prompt, and I can say like, really, if I have whisper here, and if you don't know, whisper is like a tool where we have voiceover using AI, and this voiceover uses the model of ChatGPT. I remember the name of this model, voice over ChatGPT AI. Yeah, I believe this tool uses Whisper, and the client is called Whisperflow. I believe it's a really cool tool as well. It promises that us as developers improve by 60 something x by no typing, but rather talking to the microphone. And in another video, if you want, I can talk about Whisperflow and the benefits of using it in our day-to-day workflows. But for now, let's go back to the header, And then let's do something like this. Hey, I am starting a new repo. This will be a React app, and I am building something simple. I am building a website that has a landing page, but I will give you all the specifications for this landing page. I would like you to be clean, to have a good design skills, and then no, that would be it basically. Now let's start the app in the current folder. Yes. So let's wait for this agent, for this first agent to finish creating the website. So he's building basically a vanilla HTML, CSS, and JavaScript website, and I'm pretty okay with that. So what we have learned so far is that basically herdr allows us to have spaces, and these spaces have tabs. We can name those tabs, such as we do with tmux, right? And from those tabs, every tab is linked to an agent, and when we click every agent, we locate their own tab. We can group them or sort them by priority. So this means probably the space 2 is, has more priority than this agent, right? Probably this agent is like, a not very important agent at the moment, but when we work and we increase the context of this agent, probably we go higher in the rank of priority. It is really, really useful to make us not losing our mind when we are in the command line, right? Because we have some panes that are terminals, some panes that are not, they're agents, and sometimes we switch between panes or tabs or windows inside tmux, but we don't have like a native solution for agents, which basically herdr does. And apparently it does them pretty well, since we have agents for Cloud Code, Codex, but also other LLMs. Probably I can showcase how we can connect it with Grok. And let's go there. Integrations, Hermes, Cursor, Grok, integrations, Grok, not found. So this means that if I go open code, Claude, Grok, install to connect Grok. Integrations, install integrations. Let's install the integration for Grok. Probably here, for example, another way I will have another tab, right? And this will be my terminal. Terminal for space 1. I will install the integration. I need to install the Grok CLI first. I was able to set up Grok. I just needed to, I don't know why by default, I believe Grok was alias to the web search. And with this command right here, if this happens to you, this ever happens to you, you only need to execute this alias on alias Grok. But I don't know if in the other tab right here, in another terminal session, I will be experimenting the same. No, not anymore. So continue with the the tutorial. In here we also have some plugins. There are community plugins and default plugins. We can sort them by popular, newest, and so on. But what we have a skill. Let's do a quick start. Let's do skill, agent skill file. I believe this is within plugins, agent skill file. Then we can use the herdr skill. We can install it globally. Otherwise, we have the actual file here. Let's take a look into it. This herdr skill basically teaches the agent how to use the CLI. What are the commands? What's the best situation to use each command? Then we'll see what's the interesting part of this right after we install it. So let's open a new tab here. Then let's install skill. Let's proceed. And I will install it for Cloud Code because mainly I'll use Cloud Code to, to kind of orchestrate the development for all the agents, even though I have already installed Kimi and Grok as well. So this will be installed in okay, so this means that if we go to this space and I go here, let's say that I believe that there's a command to reload the skills, and let's see if we can see for this agent the skills reload. Then here we have a grok. It doesn't matter. The cool thing about this is that we can orchestrate like several workflows by executing the CLI with this skill. For example, if I do something like, uh, let's fix, and I forgot to mention that the website that we created is already available, and I will have this beautiful website. But the thing is that I observed that the actual sections links are like broken. So apparently, if we go to the bridge, we should go to this part, right? And if we go to bazaar, to get us to this part. So I would like to orchestrate this change. So basically, if we had the skills loaded, we are able to use the CLI to split panes or start new agents and agents like, this complements really, really well with OMyPy because OMyPy switches between models. This means I can start an agent for Kimi or for Cloud or for Grok. Fix, I have it here. Yeah. Open 3 sessions, split it, one with Grok, the other with Kimi, and orchestrate changes in the website. Use Kimi for front-end changes and use Grok for other changes. This is for demo. And then this agent will use the herdr skill, hopefully, and orchestrate all these changes using these other models. So it basically calls the CLI for herdr, and we should see like how the panes split across the screen. It loads the skill, then it runs the agent. So basically, it first fixed the bug, and then it opened another terminal with Grok and another terminal with Kimi. And it can like tell other agents what to do and pass it as like a kind of prompt. So basically, it started like sending the prompt to Grok, and then Grok started working. So this is the advantage of having a tool like herdr, basically. Also, I almost forgot to mention that we have in herdr plugins, and it works like any other terminal. So if we open a new tab, probably this will replace my key. Not sure. This is really, really lightweight. I'm sorry, this will not replace my key. So it works as a normal terminal. I can open here like mvim and do web stuff. We'll wait until this is done. In the meanwhile, this complements really, really well with OMyPy, since OMyPy is the harness that is LLM agnostic, and it leads to better results when using AI. And herdr itself like manages the agent sessions, which one is idle, which one is in progress, and which one belongs to what space. So we don't lose our minds in there, as we mentioned before. Okay, so basically Claude orchestrated Grok, and he told him to check the assets in a shell script. It checked it, and it was successful. Then Claude waited for it to finish, and yeah, it couldn't use Kimi because I am not authenticated, so I need to log in Kimi, then log in here. I forgot to do that, but you get the point here. Like basically, Claude orchestrated the whole panes for herdr. That's something that in tmux probably it might have been much more complicated. And let's see how the website went then. So we have the Mostar, and then if we hit bridge, we should be redirected to bridge, and then to Asar, then to routes. Great animations, great design. And I don't know, for example, in the benchmarks, and let's imagine that we have a scenario where, I don't know, having this on my pie and then having several tasks, one for visual agents like generating UI that looks great when developing. We will use Kimi K3, or then for planning, we will use Cloud Code. And for other tasks, GPT might be the answer to the task. Yeah, you get the point. So basically, that's the whole tutorial for today, and I hope you can have some insights about herdr. And let me know what tool you wanna see next and learn about. I hope you guys like this video, and I really, really appreciate the support, and I believe I see you in the next one. Thank you.